Hi, this is Kat at inkingpaperwithkat.com. Welcome to my craft room. Today's project is this little lollipop holder. This is actually holding a Tootsie Pop. It really makes a cute table decoration for a kid's party or as a treat to hand out. Simple to make. It uses the envelope punch board and some stamps and some dies. So let's look at the supply list and get started. You're going to need a piece of cardstock. This is Stampin' Up's Pumpkin Pie cardstock, 4 by 5.5. You'll need a scrap of basic black and a scrap of Whisper White for the die cutting. You'll also need 4 pieces of DSP that are 1 inch by 1 inch, a piece of the basic black baker's twine, your envelope punch board, your Simply scoreboard, and some pumpkin pie ink. So let's start scoring. Get out your Simply scoreboard. All right, with the long side at the top, we are going to score at 1 1/4, 2 1/2, 3 3/4, and 5. Then you're going to turn it to the short side, and you are going to score at 1, 2 1/4, 2 3/4, and you're done with your scoring. Put our Simply scoreboard away, and we are going to go ahead and fold and burnish just so that we can see all of these lines. All right, let's get out our envelope punch board. Now, this is the top of your box where the largest of the squares are. This is the bottom. And where we want to punch is, if you go from the top down to the first horizontal score line, we're going to punch in those corners. So we start by having the paper flat, and we are going to line it up with the center point to punch, and punch. We're going to fold it, line it up again, and punch. Now it's a little bit harder to get through 2 layers of cardstock, and especially this cardstock. It's a good heavy cardstock, and sometimes you even have to help it in there. Hopefully I'm not going into the camera's view when I'm doing this. You also want to punch that small one. All right, all of our punching is done. Put your scoreboard away. And now let's do some cutting and trimming. At the top, you want to take a wedge off of that seam. At the bottom, you're going to remove that small rectangle. And again, take a wedge so it folds up well. Then you're going to cut up each of these score lines. So now your box is going to go together like that. Let's put our DSP on before we fold it up. It's a small box and it's easier to work with that way. You can use fast fuse, you can use snail, both will work on this project. It is a small box. And just center those in each of the squares around the box. Make sure your stripes are going in the same direction. All right, fast fuse onto the seam of the box. And then we just want to fold in our sides, our back, and more fast fuse on the front tab. You might want to take your bone pulp folder and just put it in the center, smush it down. Now, all you have to do is push in on that fold line in the middle of your punches, and the box will close in. Alright, now let's put our decorations on. Let's take our very vanilla, and we are going to use pumpkin pie ink. And we are using the Seasonal Chum stamp set, and we're just using the little trick or treat. It's a perfect size for a small box. Ink up your stamp. Alright, now you could use a punch to punch this out, but it is so small that really just take a long pair of scissors and cut straight across, and you'll be fine. And then I'm just going to angle these the way I want them to get a little point. Alright, we're going to use mini glue dot, or mini dimensionals. Ah, here they are. These mini dimensionals are great. You don't have to cut and trim and try to find something that will fit on these small little pieces. And this just goes right on the front of your box. For the other decorations, we are using die cuts, and these are the Seasonal Tags framelits. We are using the bat, and hopefully you can see those, and the spider web. In the interest of time, so this video isn't too long, I've already gone ahead and cut them. I'll put them on some black paper. I cut 4 spider webs and then 1 little bat. Now, to give the bat some character and some depth, I just kind of take my bone folder and run it along its wings. Now, do be careful because it is paper and it will tear if you're too tough with it. But that lifts its wings up so that it looks like it's flying. We're going to use another mini glue dot, or I keep saying mini glue dot, mini dimensional on the back. And have our bat flying across our bag. The spider webs, the easiest thing to do is to use Tombow, and for that I just use a silicone pad so I don't get my work surface all gunked up. And you just want to put very tiny dots of glue in some key places on the web. You don't have to cover the whole thing. The other thing you can do is you can use a sponge and dip it in glue and put that, put the glue on that way. But for me right now, this is the fastest way to do it. And again, you don't need it everywhere, just enough to get it to stick. You just line it up with the top of your bag. Or you can glue it to your nails. All right. We'll give you a little tip. When you are working with liquid glue, keep a damp baby wipe close to you so you can wipe your hands off, because inevitably you will end up with it on your hands. Now the only thing you have to do is put your lollipop in, which I don't have handy, and wrap some baker's twine around. I wrap it around twice just to give it a little bit of strength, and tie a bow. Easier said than done this morning. There we go. Trim your ends. And there you have your little Tootsie Pop treat holder. How cute is that? To have a whole row of them stacked on a table. I hope you enjoyed this project and that you give it a try. Come back and see me soon.